Be Dragon Lucky. The show will begin momentarily.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. We choose to go to the moon.
Okay, everyone, welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. This is episode 81. It's the 130th episode. This week on Number Go Up, we have tensions in Ukraine and Taiwan, all over the world, wherever they can do it. War. And sales of ramen noodles are going through the roof. That's it. And next, we go straight to Dragonchain Updates. Do check out new blog post on the Dragonchain website, 11 solutions for a successful business blockchain implementation. Talk about everything in there from interop and scale security, transparency, smart contracts, and smart contract orchestration, sustainability, a bunch of other really good details, but it's at a high enough level that if someone is asking particular questions about, what should be sought in a blockchain for, a real business need, it should all be in there at least at a high level. And there are links in each section to drill down further into specifics. So really, really good stuff. Go check it out. There's a lot of info in there. Coming up, we are, and there are a couple of things we're working on that I can't go into too much detail about, but very interesting stuff. One is on interchain capabilities that we're going to, we expect that we're going to be doing an update on a couple of things to expand some of the interchain capabilities. We'll see. I don't have a timeline on it yet, but I know that one of the customers is wanting something pretty quick that will affect that directly. And then the second piece that we're working on are some very interesting, and we're in the design phase right now, but some very interesting core system updates that, in my opinion, it's something that we had to kind of have in place for long enough as it is now to really know where it should be going next. And I have in my mind, and with the team, there are some really interesting things that we can change that will make the platform much simpler to build to. And it's already, all the interfaces are already RESTful. Everything is simple, but there are certain areas that we realize if you want to build something simple, it's maybe there are more steps than there should be. So we have a couple of things that we're going to be doing that will increase the ability for people to quickly build something, to basically really make it faster to build out new products, new services on Dragonchain, but will also increase the portability, some things that will really just help everything. So we're working on that, and we'll give you updates as it comes, and a lot of that's based upon other work that's coming up, or the priorities will get moved around. But anyway, that's Dragonchain. We go to Den.Social updates. The January 2022 LCP winner current situation Lair is now live. Go and subscribe to it. There are quite a few owners, 69 unique voters participated in the LCP to in that Lair proposal itself. And there were 4.4 million lore, applied, which means 4.4 million lot NFT tokens. So go check it out. There are already some posts in there. Try to figure out, they've just added a bunch of tags with the governance. So to get a feel for what type of content is wanted in there. But should be cool. It was proposed by Easy Peasy in April of 2021. So you can see how long those things take to build out and actually get approved. It's pretty cool. Den also committed 10,000 lore and will receive 10,000 lot. Easy Peasy for proposing it will get 10,000 lot paid for by Den with Den's lore. And as a reminder, the lot, which I wouldn't call it an airdrop, it's in your account. You don't need to export it to Ethereum, but you can. So if you want to, and you want to pay the fees, because say you want to store it in a hardware wallet or something else, or you want to take it to OpenSea to sell to sell NFTs, you can do that. But you do not have to participate in the governance to hold the lot and mine matter with it and everything else. So anyway, all of the lots already connected and will receive the Lair rewards in Matter. So next, there is also an option to create new layers that didn't win. The top 5 runners up layers are eligible to be created by anyone who committed lore, even the smallest amount of lore. And there is a price schedule from 200 to 1,000 matter, depending upon the placement. And that is placement runners up by unique voters, right? Okay, so let's see here. Over the weekend, we celebrated Matter's 2-year anniversary. The first period of mining was on January 22 of 2020. The first payout was that next day. It pays out after midnight. So on 1/23/2020, interesting stuff. There's 730 some thousand matter that have been created. That's 1,000 a day for a long time, I think 1,500 years or something like that. And let's see here. So tune in tomorrow for Coffee with Den. It is a good show, and it's generally a non-technical or less technical anyway, demonstration or description of various things in Den as they come up. New features, but also questions, and you can actually go on live if you want. And you can definitely ask questions in his post in Den that get covered. So really good stuff. It's usually a long show, and I've watched almost everyone. I didn't get to watch the past couple because I was not feeling well. But next, Den governance call is now weekly, every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, and we do have a Den interface update. So let's switch over to the screen there, and one way or another, I'll show you. If you go now to the governance tab, all right, this has been here, I think, for a week or so, that you can now look at available and pending governance issues. So if you have anything to vote on, it's going to pop up here, right? Which I really wanted, because you didn't have to go into the layer or each layer and find all the governance issues to vote on, new tags, new things to make that layer more functional. This tab right here is for any proposals that I've made. And I have 2 here that are out. So go vote on those if you have history a lot. And this one is all of the historical governance issues that you've either voted on or, well, I guess anything that you've voted on, right? And then this is all governance issues across the entire site, which in the end, all of these will also include the site-wide governance issues that come up. And then you also have this ability to do last modified order or last or created order. And something else that we wanted to show, because this was an issue and it was great feedback from a lot, good number of people that we improved the voting interface, right? So you can see now that, and I don't have anything that I haven't voted on yet, so sorry about that. But it's more obvious where you can click, and when it resolves, I think when it resolves, it will show, yeah, it'll show a little gavel where it on the winning option, whatever that might be. But something else very important to show is that now inside of any given, and maybe if I go to one that has a better description, where here is following Eternal Mickey suggestion, and that you can go down here and literally reply. You can tip it, you can vote on it if you want to give them energy, and this will effectively be a post in the in that layer. So you will also see it. Now, what's coming is the actual mobile notifications as well. And I think some of this functionality will be in mobile soon. I know there's already something in dev for some of it. So there's a bunch of really good stuff coming with the interface there. And we're also working on site-wide governance. So, okay, that's all those updates. Now we go back to World Blockchain Roundtable. Updates. Episode 36 is on Thursday. The topic is journalism. Go leave a question or topic on journalism or a theme on the weekly post. Vote on everyone else's replies as you can to get the right questions answered for the show. And then watch and share last week's episode on health and healthcare. Now, it doesn't have me on it, so it's probably better than most of them. And it currently has 1,935 views. The more views it gets in its first week, the more lot all of the participants will get. Okay. So you can watch it safely knowing that I will not be rewarded for that episode. All right. So share it wide and far. And the February topics were voted on via governance vote inside the WBRT layer by all of the lot holders, which the amazing thing about it is those are only people that have either hosted, produced in the background, the judges, or asked questions. So only those people get to vote, and they selected for February NFT utility, interoperability, mining, and a deep dive into layer 1. So every single one of those will be interesting. I don't know if I have a lot to say about a couple of them, but I would definitely watch all of them. So very good choices, everyone. So okay, that's all of the updates. We have an AMA right after this.
Now, more than ever, our data is at risk. Our supply chains are in jeopardy. Our systems are broken, and businesses feel powerless. Dragonchain gives you a different way, a safer way, a better way, and you have power over your data. Dragonchain gives you proof in an untrusted world. Build now at Dragonchain.com, America's blockchain.
All right, so we refresh the questions. We are answering the top 3. I think that's correct this week. It's not the beginning of the year, beginning of the month. So top 3. Each commenter, every question that gets asked will get one lot from Dragonchain Lair. So here, let me expand this. Okay, liquid lobotomy. If we are currently running L2 or L3 nodes, does this guarantee us a spot in the future if Dragonchain decides to limit the amount of node operators? I don't know yet what would decide something like that, but and we don't have full plans on this yet. But if you look at the sustainability report, there are a couple of measures in there that we would have never had a reason to look into, that were entirely looking at the capacity of the network. So when we saw that at the time of the 260 million 24-hour period, we took the data from that and we saw that most of the nodes on the network, and I think we had around, just from memory, around 400 nodes at the time. Most of those nodes at the time had, and this is generically not considering levels, so each level is would be slightly different on this, but most of them had probably 15 minutes between verification requests. So you think about that. This is a small node, maybe, probably, running and, hopefully a very small VM or something, but every one of them would basically run through a verification, which, the most expensive verifications would be the level 2s. And even those don't usually get taxed too hard. And you think about it, most of these are processed, and what we did for the measure in that paper was we assumed some extremely conservative metrics assumptions, which were that every verification would take the length of a block, which we know it doesn't. Some of them could theoretically take 5 seconds or more, especially L2s, but most of them would not. Most of them would be very fast verification processing requests, and therefore the nodes were sitting idle for a long time. From that, we looked at the capacity, and it was pretty radically high. We could have, and we probably would have come up with some other bottleneck in between, but the capacity is theoretically in the billions at 400 nodes. So depending upon adoption as it comes, and what we're hoping to see, that at some point we will get a tremendous amount, and then we will be able to, from that, use the capacity measure to determine how many nodes we should have, because by squeezing the number of nodes, you would have better energy metrics, that you would basically get much more have a much more efficient network that's even measurable. And we don't know that we're doing that, but it's on the board as a possibility depending upon what happens, and a couple of business drivers. But it's a good point to be made, because our numbers stack up really well against everybody that we've tested it against. So that's a long answer, right? Next one, Foost. The main important point, because there's a lot of background info. Main important point is something would if we had to limit them, we would very likely look at the health history of your node, the amount of times that you've run them, things like that. And that along with maybe time would be the probably the most likely considerations for how we would limit or squeeze the number of those nodes. So anyway, next, Foost, a question about creating a rewards/loyalty coin built on Dragonchain. What are the possible options for account or wallet access? Does it need to be standard login, email, password, or can it be set up for accounts, wallets being managed similar to Bitcoin, public and private keys, etc.? It can be anything. We had that's the great thing about Dragonchain itself. It can be something very, very traditional. It can be something very, very crypto, and it can be what I like to see, which is something tied to a factor system where you have the ability for a traditional environment where it doesn't feel like there's any crypto at all. However, it's actually stronger, or at least as strong as the crypto side, for normal people who don't, have hardware wallets or don't have MetaMask plugin installed on their browser. So we have a couple of groups that have been looking at various things. One of them had to change their priorities, and so the some of the factor stuff will be coming later, just because they needed to get other things out the door, released. And we have at least one that's looking at something that would be interesting along these lines, but it would probably be the option to have something much more akin to the crypto world's interfaces, where if you're a normal user, you don't have to use it. You can do everything as you would. But if you have if you're depositing crypto or if you are pulling crypto out, then all of a sudden all of those interfaces apply, and we're going to use it a couple of different ways to ease their or improve their security. So anyway, good question though. Johnny M. How do you think the recent Biden announcement will benefit Dragonchain now that some of the tech is listed on a GSA schedule? Referring to Memorandum on Improving the Cybersecurity of National Security, Department of Defense, and Intelligence Community Systems. There's no way to predict that unless you are very high up in that world. But, we've positioned ourselves as best we can to participate and contribute to any of these initiatives that come out now or in the future. There's a lot going on. We also, we have to consider what's coming in the form of their crypto, I don't know what you should call it, directives, I guess, that are supposed to be coming out in February. So between that and this, that seems ominous, but maybe it's positive. We don't even know that, right? A lot of people are speculating that it's going to be bad for crypto, but who knows? Any level of transparency and clear regulation is always welcome, and has frankly never happened to date in the world. Everything has been murky as hell, and probably by definition. I don't know why that is. So hopefully this that you cite with the cybersecurity will be added. I mean, you think about it, Dragonchain has very specific things that don't exist anywhere else. And they are very conceptual, very real, at the same time that you can prevent insider attacks. You can signal that certain things are going on that current traditional systems cannot do, and that no other blockchain is even coming close to focusing on that angle of using blockchain. So, you think about what we do with Eternal as an example, that you can see a deleted tweet. You can imagine if you had insiders, let's say in a financial institution, and they were up to no good, and they would normally be doing stuff and, wiping their tracks, that, a blockchain that is easily integrated and efficient can effectively catch any of those actions, and there would be really no way for those people to affect it. So very interesting stuff. Anyway, that's all of them. Y'all get one lot. That's good stuff. Great questions. Thanks a bunch. To close out, go check out Dragonchain.Store. Celebration JoJo is there. There's the code. Happy New Year, JoJo. And it is 20% off until the end of the month. Watch Super Happy Dragon Lucky again next Tuesday. Come back here and make sure you watch the roundtable this Thursday. Should be good journalism. And follow Dragonchain, Real Denizens, me, Jojo Rowe. Make sure you subscribe and share and like this video. See you next week. Thanks.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best. Adaptable, raw capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.